Hi, my name is Loretta Hill, and my family's art is music. It started back, the earliest I remember is my grandmother played electric guitar. She was like 410, and I remember her sitting and playing the guitar. And they always played the blues. And we were just in a room and she was singing and playing the guitar. And back then, to make the little sounds with the guitar, they would break a top of a Coke bottle and have that glass on the strings. And I remember her playing the guitar and just making those little sounds with the guitar. And I thought that was the coolest thing. And my uncles, they played guitar and sang the blues. So that's the earliest music memory that I have. And that was passed to my mother. My mother was, I believe she was a child prodigy, but back then it was kind of difficult. We don't have the videos and everything we have today to show how great they are. But she told her parents, she said, I can play the piano, I can play the piano. And they're like, no, you can't. She said, yes, I can. I can play the piano. And so she was 11 years old, and finally they bought her a piano. And the first thing she played was Farther Along. Farther along, we'll know all about it. Farther along, we'll understand why. Cheer up, my brother, live in the sunshine. We'll understand it all by and by. So that was the first song she played on the piano, and she was 11, and after that she played all the time. Growing up, she played, I remember going with my mother to different churches on Sundays because they had circuit churches. So they had like a first Sunday church. Everybody have one church was a first Sunday, and another church was a second Sunday, and another church was a third Sunday church, and the fourth Sunday church, and the fifth Sunday church. So my mother played for all these different churches every Sunday. Well, it was not good for us kids because we grew up Adventist, and we went to church on Saturday. So every Saturday we were in church all day singing, and every Sunday we were in somebody's church singing all day. So I grew up just saturated with music and everything. And later on she went to college and got her associate's degree. She got her bachelor's degree and finally her master's degree in education. And she was a school teacher for 30 years. So my mother instilled in us a lot of music theory, because every time she would learn something about music at school, she would come home and tell us about it. And she would sit us down once a week. We had devotion on Friday night, and she would sit us all down. And first, she would teach us how to read music. She would, write the notes on a chalkboard, and she would go over music and the chords and everything. And we all had to play the piano. So she kind of transferred a lot of that music education to us. Some it stuck, some it didn't, but I remember that, and it was really, really, really strong with us. There were 6 of us, and that's a lot of kids. And wherever we went, whatever church we went to, she always had her own choir because she always had her own kids. And there were 6 of us, and we had the tenors, we had the altos, and we had the sopranos. So we were her choir. So everywhere we went, we were singing. I'll never forget one summer, all the older kids had left. It was just me and my sister, the 2 youngest, at home with her. And I guess we were popular. I don't know. All I know, whenever somebody died, we would sing at the funeral. And in a 2-week span, we did like 8 funerals. And that was a lot for a kid in the summertime. But I just remember funerals, weddings, they would call my mom. And then my sister, she could play the piano better than me. I sang better than her, so it evened out. And so we would always go, people would call us to come sing at weddings, to come sing at different programs. And so we were always doing something musically on the weekend. When we got older and left home, we backed away from it a little bit, because I don't know, maybe it was just so much in the beginning. And then as we got older, I saw, because she taught us that music is universal. No matter where you are, where you go, you're going to hear some kind of music. And even if you go into, if you go to Morocco, Brazil, you go to England, if you start humming Amazing Grace, other people recognize Amazing Grace. It doesn't matter what language it is. That music, everybody's familiar with it. Music can also be your therapy. You're in a bad mood, you listen to your favorite song. It puts you in a better mood. Or if you're mad, you're going to listen to some mad sounding, angry sounding music. So it can help you with your mood swings. It's a good therapy for you. Sometimes just listening to some smooth jazz and just kind of relaxing, it relaxes you. So she taught us all those things. And we were exposed to everything from bluegrass to country to classical to gospel to rock to R&B. We had all kinds of music in our house at any point in time. And one Christmas, we were just playing around. We were getting ready for our Christmas play, and we were playing around. And I was like, Mother, I said, can you play, Joy to the World, like a country song? And she was like, yeah. So she would play Joy to the World country. And then she said, well, I can play the bluegrass. And she would play bluegrass. And she would play the blues. So she played this one song like 8 different ways. And I thought that was so amazing that, with music and this one little tune, you can play it so many different ways, and her interpretation was just, amazing. My mom passed away in December, and when I started writing this and thinking about this, I always knew she was amazing, but I didn't realize how much she impacted me and how she helped me to appreciate music the way it is. Today, I sing with a big band out of South Carolina. It's great. It's like one of those things I've always wanted to do. And so I sing with a big band, and we sing all the jazz tunes and upbeat tunes, and I think about her almost every time I step on stage, because, if it weren't for her, I would not have this experience and this great experience that I have. And it trickled down to my daughter. My daughter would go and spend summers with my mom. And once again, she still played at all these churches. So my daughter got to experience what I did, going to all these different churches every Sunday and every Saturday. And, my daughter, music is instilled in her. She has a degree in music, vocal performance, and communication. So, and then my granddaughter, she loves to sing, walks around the house and sings. So working with her in music. So, music has had such a great impact on my family. And I just appreciate the background that I have with music and the experiences that I've had with music to kind of help shape the person that I am today. Like I said, she was a choir director, because at every church there was a choir. And when she passed away, I wanted to do something that would just embody what my mom was and what she did. And I said, well, I can put together a choir. I said, I can call people and put together a choir. And I was like, we don't have time for that. I said, what would my mother do right now? So I said, we're going to have a church full of people that's there for my mother. So when it came time, they were like, oh, where's the choir? There's no choir. So I stood up at my mom's funeral. I said, well, y'all know my mother loved the choir. I said, so today, everyone in this service, we're going to be the choir. This is going to be their first performance of the Loretta P. McGlon Legacy Choir. And so I created a choir at my mom's funeral, and we sang, and it was awesome, and I felt like I made her proud, and she would have been happy with what I did, because she said, you just got to work with what you got. And that was a good day. I miss my mom.